Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte, and today we are taking a look at an interesting little thing here from Nick Kypreos, who obviously was a member of the Detroit Red Wings in the past. And he kind of came out here and kind of threw out some stuff with the rumor mill that has people kind of questioning, could the Red Wings be in the mix for a certain player on the West Coast? And we're going to go over that today. So let's get right into it. So according to Nick Kypreos, he said that the Detroit Red Wings could show interest in Bo Horvat if he's made available for trade, and probably closer to the trade deadline. So it's kind of an interesting situation. If you guys don't know the saga, I've posted about it here on the channel earlier this season. The Vancouver Canucks have not played well this season, and they're already starting to go into the tank for Bedard situation. Only 16 to 20 games into the year. So there is questions about their pending unrestricted free agent captain, Bo Horvat. Now, the Red Wings have a lot to consider here, because it's not like you're just bringing in Bo Horvat. Now, there's different ways to kind of strategically look at this. Now, if the Red Wings are to go for Bo Horvat, it's probably going to cost them a decent amount. You're not going to get him for nothing. The Canucks fans would literally riot in Vancouver if they traded him for just a first-round pick. So the situation with Horvat is, one, are you going into it knowing you're keeping him as a rental? Or two, are you looking at it more in the sense that we're going to sign this guy long-term, so we might have to give up more assets, but we're keeping him long-term, like a sign-in trade? Now, the problem with the long-term approach is they also have to re-sign their own Michigan native captain, Dylan Larkin. So there is ways to move money around, and the Red Wings can absolutely do that. But to sign both Horvat and Larkin long-term might not necessarily work. Now, it depends on what happens with some other players on the Red Wings. If Andrew Kopp ends up becoming a third-line center and we start to see some holes from some of those younger guys down the middle, well, maybe that could actually be a realistic option. But again, it's kind of part of the whole situation, because I see it in the sense that it's going to be Larkin, Horvat, and Kopp as your top three centers if they were to make that trade. But then you have to consider, if you're Vancouver, are you looking for a guy like Kopp in return if the Red Wings don't want to give up some of their prospects like Elmer or Johansson or some of those guys? Like, you got to kind of look at it in the sense that you're trying to keep some of your good prospects and keep that some of those building blocks. But again, you also have to look at the long-term future. You're going to have to trade a contract to Vancouver, whether that's an Andrew Kopp or a Ben Sherratt. I don't know if they'd be able to move that necessarily, but you get what I'm saying. They'd have to move money back to Vancouver in a trade with whatever first-round, second-round prospects, whatever it ends up being. So I think it's definitely interesting, and I think there is a fit there, because Red Wings fans have told me for years, and they all know the story, there's been a little bit of that sense of a lack of depth down the middle, and I think that's changing a little bit with some of those guys coming in. But again, I think the Red Wings would like to see a little bit more stability, and a guy like Bo Horvat, who is a pretty good hockey player, maybe in a new environment there on the East, really in the Eastern Conference, just getting out of Vancouver, it might be the best thing for a guy like Bo Horvat. But the question is, what would the price be? And would Red Wings fans even be interested in the Vancouver Canucks captain? Again, whenever you see that, you always wonder, oh, that guy must have a little bit of value, right? Because he's the captain of the team. So there's something there, right? And we'll see maybe if there's an opportunity for it to work out in Hockeytown. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your mock trades down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video, and let's go Red Wings.